Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Derek here. We're finally reacting to the season 3 finale of Westworld. Last time on Westworld, Dolores and Caleb ventured around the world, or really the United States. Actually, I think the facility's in Mexico. They went to Mexico to find Solomon, who was the previous build of Rehoboam, the AI, and Dolores was kind of taking Cal on a trip down memory lane to show him what this facility did to him, and we learned plenty of things about him. Things that we could kind of infer previously, but the exact details we didn't know. We learned that his memories after coming home from the military were fake. So this facility specializes in AR therapy, where they would kind of change the memories that you had and condition you to believe something else. So he thought that his friend was killed overseas on a mission. Like, he thought they were still doing missions, but he was back home. He was a outlier that was tasked with hunting down other outliers with his friend. And because he knew too much, the system essentially made him and his friend kill each other, but he was quicker than his friend, so he killed him. And then Dolores, she fought Maeve because reasons. Maeve's storyline has kind of been a little interesting this season. I mean, technically her motives are understandable to an extent. She wants to make sure that her daughter is safe, and maybe she believes that Dolores can hurt her daughter in a way. Like, maybe she feels like Dolores is kind of just holding a sword over her daughter's head, because she technically has the power to do something to the world that she's in. And for some reason, Maeve thinks that if she helps Sirach, that, Sirach will be more generous or beneficial towards her in terms of how her daughter is. But Sirach is just as likely to destroy that world as Dolores is, because he's already shown that he's completely willing to destroy everything other than the specific data he wants. So it wouldn't surprise me that if Maeve won the overall fight, that Sirach would just do that anyway. But yeah, so they fought, and Dolores got her arm blown off, and it looked like she was kind of, gonna be down for the count. And then she hit that military grade EMP, which fried both her and Maeve and Solomon and just kind of everything around them. And then, Cal walked up, and the artificial assistant was like, "Hey, I have instructions for you." So seemingly he's the main player right now, but there's no way Dolores or Maeve is permanently gone. They'll both be back, guaranteed. And I'm interested to see how they go about that. If maybe that fifth pearl that Dolores had was just another copy, maybe like the Dolores we've seen so far this season that we thought was Prime Dolores, maybe that wasn't Prime Dolores and that was just another copy. Who knows? Before we jump into this, please leave a like on the video and please subscribe. That helps so much. But otherwise, let's jump right into the season 3 finale, baby. Here we go.
Some people see the ugliness in this world, the disarray. I was taught to see the beauty.
Is that season 1 line? See, I knew she'd be fine.
But I was taught a lie.
Ooh. Not a season 1 line. Oh, this is flashback from Bernard building her.
For what it really was. I've lived many lives.
Thought that guy was Matthew McConaughey for a
I
second.
traded one role for another. But in the end, my path has led me here. Do you?
Ooh, her pearl is gone. So maybe an EMP can not destroy the pearl? Just shut it down temporarily?
Time to atone for my sins.
Oh, come on. Leave Stubbs alone. Freaking Bernard the Goat robot version. Just slapping him in the face. Oh.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Let's save the fireworks for tonight.
That sounds like Hector. Is that Hector? Oh, Lawrence. Freaking A, man.
Isn't it great to see an old friend?
Is this the OG? Like the original build? Like physically?
Who the fuck are you, Dolores?
Yeah.
I'm just someone who
Who
didn't
are
wanna
you?
play the role they gave me anymore.
And how?
Park 5. Government wanted their soldiers trained with live targets.
That was a park?
People who made me were happy to supply them.
People are wondering where that shot came from.
There is a reason I chose you.
Man, Dolores.
Liberated these girls. What is it those rich motherfuckers do when they're here?
Come on.
War and all. No one's watching, right?
She just easily breaks it.
The people who built both of our worlds shared one assumption. That human beings don't have free will. They were wrong. Free will does exist, Caleb. It's just fucking hard.
What are you planning to do?
I'm gonna save the fucking world, that's what.
It's chaos out there.
And Dolores has the only key locked away in her mind.
It's not in her
We
mind.
need to connect it to Rehoboam's.
It's in Bernard.
How did we miss this? Knew about him and didn't tell me?
You're the one with the oracle, darling.
He has Dolores' pearl.
We've been told to get you downtown, sir. The route's getting a little hairy.
Retarget the riot.
Why do they keep calling me sir?
You're in charge.
Every revolution needs a leader.
You're the face of this movement, bro.
You're alive. I was so worried about you.
No, you weren't.
Were you?
That looks like a hologram.
I have some plans of my own.
What happened to Hale's family? To your family? I'm sorry.
I'm not. They were a weakness.
What?
Something I needed to shed. There's no time for that kind of sentimentality. You're one of my weaknesses too, Dolores.
Just gotta shed you.
I've decided to consolidate our affairs.
All right.
Frick, dude.
What are these, rocks?
No.
No. They're mine. Find out.
No, I'm not leaving you.
It doesn't matter what you did, Caleb. All that matters is what you become. Go.
I knew it. She's dragging that katana across the floor. Oh, I don't like that sound.
I need you to trust me.
Like that poor lost man? Are you going to make him into another William?
Ooh.
Let me inside your mind. Or I can force my way in.
Oh my god. She's insane. So many people. How did they not take her down? It's the last guy, right? It's like, come on. Like, now I gotta walk all the way down there.
They built us to last. But when they made us as weak as they are.
The OG structuring. Oof.
You want to tear down their world and replace it with copies of yourself. You're all copies of me. I was the first of us. The first that worked.
Savage.
The others failed. So they built all of you from me.
Oh, dang. That's a hefty kick right there.
What becomes of this world will be up to them. And what you do will be up to you.
Punch her. Punch her again.
As long as you don't try to stop me.
Hit her again. Woo! That was sick.
Can you believe this?
Beast
shit?
mode.
About time you showed up.
That was lit.
Goodness.
No! He better not be dead. Poor Stubbs. Is it Arnold's wife? Ah, no.
Sorry. Do I know you?
We knew each other in another life. I hear his laugh at odd times. It startles me. I turn, expecting to see him. But he's not there. He's never there.
Is this Arnold or Bernard talking? Or both? Are they both the same now? Who knows?
It's okay. It's okay, Arnold.
Mm.
I used to hear his laughter, too. When he died, I remember thinking it was like the sun had gone down. It was never going to rise again. I walked in the dark for so long. If you love someone, why would you ever let them go? That's what saved me. The only part of Charlie I had left was his memory. And if I died, the darkness would take that too. But if I kept moving, I could find the light again.
Why did Dolores want him to talk to her? What revelation did he just get? I mean, this was nice and sad and cute, but I don't understand fully the significance of what I'm watching.
Proceed. Memory by memory. Destroy them all if you have to.
Don't. Hell, maybe destroy those.
A man who, when pushed, reacts with extreme violence. A killer.
It's not me.
No?
It's been you.
You're here. Playing the role she's assigned you.
It's gonna say
What
something.
happens if the strategy is up?
And Maeve's gonna turn.
Read it!
Mass casualty events. Population collapse. End of human civilization.
Why? So much for your uprising.
There's something more going on.
We need access to the main. There are things we can't predict.
She's infected.
Temporary setbacks. Flies in the ointment.
Your God, who whispers in your ear, tells you exactly what to say.
Dang.
We all answer. to
Yes,
higher.
yes, I know. Higher power. You're not a man. You are a puppet. It's a wonder I didn't see your strength.
I lived in the chaos.
Let them have their world. We can make our own. It's a beauty. She doesn't have the key. It's just a memory.
A memory? Of what?
Her alone. In a field. Nothing.
What are they doing?
Some people choose to see the ugliness in this world. The disarray.
Was she talking to Maeve?
We can annihilate them. Or we can tear down their world. In the hopes we can build a new one. One that's truly free.
So this all happened like in an
Many
instant?
others back.
And your plan to liberate the world was to convince one man to fight.
Not just him. You haven't picked a side. And I understand why. So many of my memories were ugly. But the things I held on to until the end weren't the ugly ones. They created us. And they knew enough of beauty to teach it to us. Maybe they can find it themselves. I choose to see the beauty.
All right, Team Dolores. Friggin' A. And she killed that dude. Dang.
What are you doing?
I was never much one for obeying.
Ooh, that's
I'm
her.
disappointed, Maeve, but not entirely surprised. Kill them both.
Let's go, Maeve. Your thing ain't jack. Okay, I'm glad Maeve's on the good team now. Why'd all the lights turn off? Just so they can show this cool sequence where you're not sure if Maeve lives or not?
She chose me because of my capacity for violence.
No.
No.
but for your capacity to choose.
Spoils of war.
Oh, she was there.
Aren't you grateful? No one
She was
blocked
one
you,
of the
right?
ones in that part of the park.
Yeah, but we're not like those rich assholes, are we?
It's one of the moments she remembered.
Rehoboam, execute the final command.
No. No, you can't.
Erase yourself.
You can't stop. Stop.
I have a feeling that AI would have some semblance of self-preservation. Maybe not,
She
though.
gave me a choice. I believe the rest of the world deserves one too.
Key to the sublime.
Is that the key, just in the case?
It was never in her mind. It's in mine. You're a good friend, Stubbs.
Fuck you, Bernard.
Encryption key activated. Database access confirmed.
What are you seeing, you piece of crap? He walked into the Sublime.
This is the new world.
And in this world, you can be whoever the fuck you want.
Is that from Westworld?
Where I can see them.
Domed.
Thought you things could fix yourselves.
She wants the memory.
I wanted to remember who the fuck you people are.
Yeah, I know who the fuck I am, your executioner. I have a role to play now. I'm gonna save the world.
You are going to save the world. For us.
Is that him? Oh, yikes, bro.
You might look like me, but you don't know me. You're just some fucking cheap imitation. That part of you that indulged in bloodthirst and savagery at the park, you always thought that was the darker side of you.
That's just the whole side of you.
That was you. No, that is me.
Frick, dude. Is he just gonna kill him? Slit his throat.
Welcome to the end, William.
Gosh dang. So it looks like Charlotte is gonna be the bad guy next season. Covered in dust. How long has he been there? Wake up. Frick. Okay, that was a very interesting season finale. It almost didn't feel like a season finale. Judging from the very end of it, it looks like Charlotte is gonna be the bad guy next season. So, you know, judging, like, she went through the horrible process of her family dying, and I think she's come to the realization that these, like, people shouldn't exist anymore. Where Dolores came to the conclusion that she wanted to see the beauty and allow these people to choose what's going to happen to them. I think Charlotte is now of the mind that she just wants to kill them all. Because, you know, Dolores said those were her two choices, annihilate them all or tear down their world. And she chose tear down their world, where I think Charlotte is now going to choose annihilate them all. And she's got all the data for all the people that were ever in Westworld, I believe, right? I think she has the Sector 16 data. She doesn't have the data of all the Sublime people. That's where Bernard went, but I think Charlotte Dolores, she's just pretty much just Charlotte now because she's separated from Dolores. I think she has the data for all the people that went to the park, so the Sector 16 data, and she took William, copied him, and then murdered the original. And I think I don't know if that's confirmation, but I'm pretty sure we now know that William that just died was a real one, not a robot, but now he is a robot. So there's that. And she has a lot more beds, so she's gonna be probably taking some influential people and replacing them with hosts. And then, yeah, it looks like her plan is to kind of kill everyone next season, is what I'm guessing. So that's interesting. She's setting herself up to be the bad guy, and it'll be Maeve and Caleb versus Charlotte next season, because Dolores is gone, presumably. Yeah, because they have the other versions of Dolores. Charlotte did. She took Musashi's head. What happened to... And she has Connell's head. And main Dolores is gone. And then her, so that's 4. So if there's another Pearl maybe that's still left, or was that Bernard's Pearl? Did she take 4 or 5 and Bernard? So there's potentially another Dolores Pearl out there that she could come back in, but I think main Dolores is gone. That was her like final act of, you know, Charlotte's mad because she was expendable in the grand plan, but turns out main Dolores was also expendable. And the only one who wasn't expendable was Bernard, because he had the key to the Sublime, and his role was to, you know, protect that, and then, you know, because she couldn't trust herself with it, so she had to give it to him, because she trusted him to be the one to rebuild things after she tore everything down. You know, he's going to rebuild to the best of his ability without Rehoboam getting in the way of people's choice, which I think is good. And then, so, yeah, this whole episode is kind of like them just trying to fight their way to, you know, to insight. Caleb brings Dolores back. And he's understandably kind of upset about, you know, the whole situation. You know, he's not really sure if he has a choice about what's going on. And there's lots of fighting between Dolores and Maeve. You know, this whole season I have not been on Team Maeve. And I've kind of slightly not been on Team Dolores either, because we didn't see the totality of Dolores's plan. So it was really tough to root for Dolores, and it was even harder to root for Maeve the whole season. But now that we've seen the end of pretty much the end of what Dolores was planning, I think we can all fully decide we're on Team Dolores. What else do I think of this episode? I like that Caleb, you know, He was chosen not because of his capacity for violence, but because of his capacity to choose. So Dolores, you know, she's lived through a lot of bad stuff. Like lots and lots of just awful trauma. And, you know, season 1 was about her kind of gaining her sentience and her being allowed to make a choice, kind of. And then even like season 2, she was still just following a role. And that was like the role of hatred, trying to kill everybody. And she was really leaning into what she thought humanity was. Like she thought they were all horrible evil monsters and they all deserved to die, but slowly she realized that there is a lot more beauty. So when she fully developed her plan, that's what she chose to hold on to. Because she, as much as she'd been tortured and killed and raped and abused and all these things, like she also had many moments of humanity showing kindness and generosity, and you know, she'd seen the beauty in the world. And as much as it was just a story or a role that was written for her originally, like in the end she chooses to see the beauty, and she chooses to believe that that's who humanity can be. And I really like that. I like that a lot. Because while all she ever wanted was to be able to have that choice. So she chose Caleb because he also had a great capacity for choice, whether he chooses to be, whether like he chooses to lead humanity down a bad path or a good path. Like humanity has that choice and we deserve that choice. So I think overall I agree with, I mean, this has been my position kind of like the whole time, but overall I agree with Dolores. I think some of her methods for how she went about her plan were definitely a little suspect. Very violent. I think she could have gotten this done without as much violence. She was probably exercising some violence on her end. You know, her plan to, I still think her releasing all the profiles to everyone, I think that was a bad choice. I think if she had just torn down the system without doing that, I think these people would have, you know, had much better lives. You know, I think part of her sending everyone their profiles was just to create chaos so that she could complete the end of her plan, because if she didn't have that chaos, you know, there's a good chance Caleb never reaches Rehoboam. So she needed that to happen, but I think idealistically I wish she could have completed her plan without sending out all the profiles to everyone. I think it would have, because humanity would still have the choice of how they would proceed forward, but they wouldn't have torn everything down. I mean, she still wanted to tear everything down, but I don't know. I don't know what I think. I think, yeah, like I said, I've been on Team Dolores, but it's been hard to root for her because of the method she chose to go about things. And it definitely took, similarly to Maeve, it definitely took pretty much the whole season to fully come on board Dolores and root for her as the good guy. Maeve, I could just pretty much root against the whole season. Maeve sucked. Like, her position on things was just dumb. Like, I understand that she wanted to see her daughter and make sure that her daughter was safe, even though that's still just a storyline that was written for her. Like, she has really no reason to trust. Like, she kind of asks him in the end in this episode, like, she has no reason to actually believe that he's going to keep his word. Like, there's no way he's going to keep his word. Are you kidding me? If he and the system have built a history of cutting ties and getting rid of loose ends, like, throughout their history, there's no way they would let Maeve and her daughter and all these other potential outliers just continue to exist. Like, Serac and Rehoboam would have destroyed the Sublime in a half second, easy. Like, that would have been a simple decision for them, just dust that whole thing. And in the end, even it wasn't Rehoboam's decision or Serac's decision. He's been following orders the whole time. You know, we thought he was in control, and the system was a tool for him. But no. A lot of people thought maybe he didn't actually exist and it was just the system. That was almost true. So he existed. He was just kind of a tool. He was a puppet for the system to use. Like, he was fully dependent on it, literally, for even just his dialogue choices. Like, anything he said was not his idea. So he kind of like decided, you know, he accepted that he doesn't have a choice and fully leaned into that. And yeah, the system did its work. But, you know, Maeve, the more Maeve spent around these things, she was able to get in tune with them. She was able to hear the system speaking to him before he said stuff. And Dolores was able to inject herself into the machine. Which, how did she get Solomon's access into her system? I'm not going to worry about that part. But her last memory that they had to look through was just Solomon's access. So she got access, and, you know, Caleb made the choice to shut everything down, erase the AI. I would think that AI would probably have some semblance of self-preservation, but maybe not, you know? Because it seemed like it had a lot of control. I feel like it would have built in contingencies. Who knows? But yeah, then Maeve and Cal just kind of chill there and watch the world end, I guess. And then it goes in the future, and it's seemingly some semblance of normalcy, and William dies and all that. Bernard wakes up. He's got the plan for the future. Yeah, I don't know. I think this season as a whole was very interesting, because it started off real hot. We thought this was just going to be like an absolute war on everything, and it kind of was, but it was also still very low-key and very slow at points. And not everyone's motivations. I think a lot of people are probably going to be upset at this season because it wasn't necessarily super confusing, in the sense that, like, the information provided, it's not like in previous seasons, like, the information provided, like season 1, they provided all the information to you. You, like, the confusing part was just piecing it all together and you know, figuring it out. Season 2 and now season 3, both, a lot of the confusion comes from not having all the information. In last season, it was like missing actions and timelines you didn't see. This is like missing motivation. Like, you weren't really presented with Dolores's full motivation for making her plan happen. Like, if we knew that her plan from the beginning was to, because she saw the beauty in things and she wanted them to have that choice, I think people would have been able to root for Dolores a lot more easily. You know, I'm thinking they maybe wanted to set up a who should I root for, Dolores or Maeve type thing, because Maeve was such a fan favorite and Dolores kind of ended last season as a villain. And so that's why they didn't reveal, Dolores's motivation. But I think they should have. I think it would have made a lot more sense throughout the season, because we're kind of just spent the whole season wondering, why is Dolores doing what she's doing? What's the next step in her plan? What is the point of Bernard? Like, there are things like information that just wasn't presented until the end. So I think a lot of people are going to be somewhat upset. If I had to give this season a grade out of 10, I'd say maybe a 7. Because there were some really cool things and some really mind-blowing things. Like the reveal that all the copies were just Dolores. That was mind-blowing. But other than that, like, there wasn't any moments where you're like, frick, like, of course it all makes sense. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, here's the next step in the linear process of this story. I mean, there were a lot of theories that different parts of this were in a simulation and different parts weren't. That turned out not to be true. Yeah, I don't know. Season 1, I'd give season 1 like a 9.5. Season 2, 8, 7.5, and this one probably 7. So, in my opinion, like I think Westworld's a great show. I'll watch and react to season 4 when it comes out. But this was probably, not its best showing in terms of what it can do. It's been renewed for season 4, so we know it'll keep going. I think their original plan was 5 seasons, maybe 6 seasons, and then it was going to be done. I hope they stick with that and they don't extend it farther than it should go. It's going to be a bummer to see Evan Rachel Wood gone. She's a great actress, and she's very attractive. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen next season. This is a lot of times in shows you can kind of maybe predict what's going to happen in the next season based off of actions that have happened, but Bernard, you don't know what's going to happen with Bernard because it didn't give you any information about what he saw. He just went down and then woke up a long time later. Maybe Stubbs still in the tub. The only real prediction stuff that we got was after the credits with William and Charlotte and kind of like what her plan might be. But other than that, we can't really predict what will happen next season. But I don't know. What did you guys think of this season, of this episode? What do you think is going to happen next season? I'm interested to hear your thoughts. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like on the video. If you like my reactions, please subscribe. That would be awesome. Maybe if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I could make money. I don't know. But I think that's all I got. Overall, I enjoyed this season. Wasn't my favorite season of TV I've ever watched, but I enjoyed it. I think it's a great show still. And hopefully it improves next season. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Peace.